What are the traps in wholesaling? Well, I've been wholesaling houses for 41 years now, still do today. But I see a lot of people making that their only business, and that means they're leaving big money on the table. Wholesaling is great to generate some fast cash. In fact, it is the fastest way to get a check, literally in and out within a few days. And in my case, picking up a minimum of a $20,000 check, I just don't want to mess with one for less than that. I'm not saying I haven't, because I have. The problem with wholesaling is that you leave all the benefits of real estate on the table. You don't get any appreciation or depreciation. You don't get non-refundable deposits like we do when we lease option houses to tenant buyer. You don't get any debt pay down. You give up all these things. What you do get is a check, which you have to give the government a great big chunk of, and that's okay. Okay, I tell people the fastest way to get a check is wholesaling. But as soon as you can get out of the trap of needing money like you need oxygen, then you might want to think about keeping some of these properties. Wholesale some, maybe keep some, which is what I do actually. And if you make up your mind you're going to do that, your wealth is going to grow a whole lot faster because of all those benefits I just described. But if you're looking at just the traps in wholesaling, number one, people pay too much. They pay too much because they haven't been trained. And like I get properties that are listed with realtors across my desk every single day, and 90% of them I eliminate just because they're asking too much for the property in its current condition based on the after repaired value of the property. You're selling to people that are going to rehab the house for a living. You got to understand they want to make some money too, so you just can't take all the money out of it. They got no reason to buy it. I have a formula, the ARV, the after repaired value, times 70% minus repairs equals Mayo, which is maximum allowable offer. And then I say, don't ever pay Mayo. Mayo is about what you're going to be able to sell it at, so you got to buy it less than that, or you're not going to make any money. I've done a couple of wholesales here in the past couple of months. We made over $40,000 each on without ever touching the property, without ever buying the property, which is why people love wholesaling so much. But if you pay too much, you're not going to get no $40,000 out of it. So you got to be very careful what you pay. Take my formula and write it down, and then use your best judgment. If you overpay, you're not going to get paid. And then another big mistake people make is that they sell them too cheap. All right, they don't even take the time to find out what the real after repaired value is in their market, and that alone is an art. You can't just go to guesstimate on Zillow, because it's never right. A guesstimate is almost never right. It's usually undervaluing the property, which is an advantage to you actually if that's what your seller's using to create their sales price. But don't you fall into that same trap. You got to learn to take the top two best comps and use those to compare your house to, and not all the junk below that sold for very small amounts of money. And you'll find a lot of those wherever you're going to wholesale properties, which has got to be in the low end of the houses. You're going to find a whole lot of houses that sold way below market value because they needed repairs, or the seller was desperate or whatever. So if you're going to wholesale a house, buy it right or don't buy it. And I'll tell you, for every one you buy, there's 10 to 20 or more that you turn down because there's just no money in them. And then when you sell it, figure out what the ARV is, and then maybe, I tell my folks, ask $10,000 more than the ARV, and you'll usually, more than $10,000 more than the Mayo, not the ARV, which is the maximum allowable offer. Remember, you bought it below that, so now you're raising the price $10,000 above the Mayo, and you'll get it most of the time. Worst case, you have to negotiate it down a little. And don't forget, anybody buying a house from you to rehab is going to want to negotiate the price. So set it a little higher than you expect to get to begin with, and then maybe you can get it down to where you actually want. And to wholesale a house, it's so simple. Get a contract on it, check, do a title search on it, or have it done. You don't do title searches, and put it on the market. That's all there is to it. I promise you, you're going to get pounded and pounded with people calling you. There's so many people out there looking for these junkers right now. I've never seen a rabid market like we have right now. You're going to get a lot of calls, but I will tell you, most of them are a waste of your time. And sometimes people are throwing offers at you, half of what you ask, or I don't know, some stupid formula they weren't somewhere. It wasn't for me, I can tell you that. So we have a mathematical way to determine what we're going to pay and what we're going to get paid. So we don't have to deal with the folks who really looks like they've had no training to me, because they make such stupid offers. I don't know how they expect anybody to actually take them. So easy to get in and easy to get out. I'll tell you right now, most of your deals are in for sale by owners. They're not in the MLS, but you still have to keep your eye on the MLS and ask your realtor to set a system up to where you get all the houses every day that meet your parameters. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't want anything that's listed more than $150,000, and most of them are well below that. And that weeds out all the low-end properties that have a problem, because almost all of them need repaired if they're listed in here below 150. So that's an easy parameter for the realtor to plug in to have it come to you every day. 3 bedrooms is my minimum, 1 bath is my minimum, 1,000 square feet is my minimum, and listed less than 150. I said listed less than 150 now, not are less than 150. Every day, here they come. I get several of them on my phone. I look at them real quick, and the first thing I look at is the price, and then I look at the house, and I can, I've been around a while, I can do that and tell you whether it makes sense or not. But you will have to probably look up the ARB to determine whether you even want to make an offer on it. So I just take the ones that have the bigger spread between what I think the ARB is and the asking price, and make offers. I probably make offers on maybe 2 out of the 10 or 12 that I get. Sometimes more than that. In a week, I probably get 15 or so from the realtor, make 2 or 3 offers a week, and every once in a while, one of them pops up. But I would not depend solely on realtors to send me prospects. You need to get into the world of FSBOs and contact them and get them to call you, because those are the best qualified leads you can get. Click the link down below to learn more.